All right, let's take a look at the ARB Puncture Repair Kit. What I'm about to show you, every one of you guys should have this. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're driving some fancy power car. I don't care if you're driving gasoline engine car. I don't care if you're driving diesel. I don't care what you're doing. If you got tires on your vehicle, you need this. If you're a prepper, you need this. And don't even bother saying you don't. I got a link in the bottom of this. I'll explain this to you. And I had postponed this for a long time, and I'm done postponing. I had gotten myself stuck in a farmer's field with my four-wheel drive because I'd gotten cocky about my four-wheel drive and found out how quick of a moron I was. So let's have a look at this, and let me tell you what it does. Now this is made by ARB, is what this is made by. Comes with a nice hard case. It will say 4x4 accessory there. Don't listen to that. Don't even listen to that. Okay. It has complete colored instructions. Is what this has. Really well nice. Okay. ARB really puts out some good stuff. Some people say they're pricey, but own it for life. Don't own it 20 times. Now, why does anybody need this? Why does any person need this? I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man. You can do this. Okay? How many times, and this has happened to me a lot, where you've had a screw in your tire. And if you go and pull the screw out, well then, your tire goes flat. A lot of people just drive it to the garage and say, look, I got a screw in my tire, and they get it fixed. That's great. But what if you're in a mall parking lot, or what if you're driving down the road and you get something stuck in your tire? And then you start hearing a hissing sound. Well, believe it or not, you can save the day if you pull over immediately and you grab this kit, because this kit should be like in the back seat someplace where you know where it is, and you grab this one, and this is a reamer compared to this one, which has this, okay? And you get out of the car and you run around and you try to find that hissing sound, and as soon as you find that hissing sound, stick that in the hole right away. It'll stop. So now your tire's not flat, and you're not dead in the water yet. Now, a lot of people could say, well, I just change the tire. You could do that. A lot of people have dummy tires. Do you like those dummy tires? I'd rather do this than change the tire. It's a lot less work. So then what I would do and say, okay, I got to get everything ready. That's what I got to do. This is your juice. That's what I call it. This goes on everything. These are your plugs. Basically, they're going to slide through this hole here. And it has a little cut down there. And basically, again, put some juice on there, spread some juice on, put some on it. Make sure it's good and moist to shove in the hole. We're going to take this out of the hole. We're going to put some of this on. Ram that in the hole, ram it in the hole, ram it in the hole. As they say, ream it. It's almost like you're sanding it, prepping the hole. When you're done with this one comes into play. This little thing goes through, folds in half. You shove it in the hole. This pulls it out, and out it comes. Hole is plugged. You're ready to go home. Lots of videos on YouTube to show you how to use these things. And you're off and running. This thing here, this will check your pressure. Tell you what your pressure is in your tire. Look on the side of your tire to tell you. Try to leave a little bit sticking out of the plug. And that's what this little razor blade is for, to cut off the ends if you got left over. Pretty cheap razor blade compared to everything else. Need one of those pliers. Well, if you got a screw in there and you need to reef on it, to get it out. And they're not bad. I wouldn't say they're the greatest, but they're okay. They're about medium. Grab the screw, pull it out. They'll serve what you're looking for. So, why does everybody need this? I mean, you can go to the garage, right? Call a tow truck if you want. This thing costs like 50 bucks, guys. And it'll pay for itself the first time you get a screw in your tire. I would suggest you also get some extra plugs. These were like $6. They were nothing. You know, better to have them than not have them. You'll run out of these pretty quick over time. But what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 plugs in each. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 20 plugs there, 20 plugs there. So you've got yourself 40 tire fixes right off the bat. This should live in your vehicle and not at home. Got 2 vehicles, buy 2. But I got stuck in that field and I got thinking, you know, I had some stuff. I got a winch on the front of my truck. I had a 100-foot cable I had, strap, and I had the winch, and I think that's all I had. Now, if I wouldn't have had that strap I had, and I'll link the video up, you can go watch it. If I wouldn't have had that strap, that guy wouldn't have been able to get me out because he didn't have no straps. He didn't have nothing. Nothing whatsoever. He wasn't even prepared. Thank God he helped me out. So I got thinking about that, and I went and bought myself 2 tree straps that wrap around a tree. I bought another strap that was, I think that strap's 20 feet long. The one that's in my vehicle was 30 feet long, not 100. And you can connect them together. I've also bought myself an air compressor that basically connects to my battery. I can air up my tires, unair my tires. I'm not going to be in that position again, and I did not like how that position felt. I didn't like it at all. I hate depending on other people. I really do. It just really, I guess it's my old age. It just really irks me. And this is like 50 bucks. There's hundreds of videos on YouTube to teach you how to use this thing. I mean, really, a monkey could use it if they watched a couple videos. It is really, really easy. So I've stepped up my game to a whole new level. I've got 2 shovels in my vehicle now. I didn't have a shovel before. I got a full long shovel, and I've got a titanium shovel that I had already owned that I bought a long time ago. That's in there. That's like if I got to get down on my knees and the long shovel doesn't work, I have the short shovel. So you dig out the wheels when you get stuck. Now, if I could have let the air out of my tires, that might have been all I needed to get out. But I couldn't let the air out of my tires because I didn't have a compressor. So I picked up an ARB compressor. And now, if I have to let the air out of my tires, I can grab it out of the back, connect it to my battery, hook it up to my tires, air them back up, and I'm off and going down the road. I can let the air out of my tires down to 20 pounds or 30 pounds and have more traction. So that's awesome. I also have a set of boards coming in now. When you get boards, you put them under the tire, but the thing with boards is the most expensive one out there is made in Australia. They're like, I don't know, 2 of them were like almost $650. And I was just like, wow, that's a lot of money for a board. Of course, it's the best of the best. But for the amount of 4-wheeling I do, it's not what I need. Now, you have to know how to use them properly. I watched a lot of videos. I am no expert. But from what I can understand, I really dig out that tire well. I put my boards underneath it really well. Get a little bit of angle. Try to get them under the tire if I can. And then I drive right out. No spinning. You don't spin your tires on them. Now, it seems like if I follow the rules, I should be able to get out pretty easy. Now, worst case scenario, they crack and something goes wrong. I bought 4. I paid $150 for 4, compared to the best of the best out there, which is almost 6. It cost me like $1,200 for something I'm not using that much of. And you got to think, it's been 5 years, and it's the first time I got stuck in that video. And yeah, I've done some 4x4, not big fancy 4x4. I mean, I'm not burying my wheels and playing stupid games like that. I mean, when I see something that looks kind of sketchy, I'm like, oh, not going there. I'll back up and go someplace else. You know, I'm in no hurry to get stuck. A lot of times when I go, I'm going out to go camping. I'm not going out to go 4x4. I don't know, maybe I will now. But I don't know. Now that I got some fancy equipment and I got some tree straps, I've got 30 foot, I got 50 feet, I got the compressor, I got the tire repair kit. I even have 2 of these real fancy valve things. Now, 2 of them were 30 bucks. They were pretty fancy. But apparently you don't need any tools, and you can replace your valve and be on your way. And I've seen other guys to where, yeah, they've gone 4x4 and they've gone through the bush with their 4x4s, and they've damaged that valve. And this does have some valves in it. But with those fancy 2 valves there, you could be on your way pretty quickly. So I didn't want any way that my tire could not be fixed. I do carry a spare. It's not a dummy tire. It's a full tire. So, but I do carry it under my truck, and I've thought about that too. Because if you do get into a mud bog and you got to climb under there and get your spare out of there, you're not going to get your spare out of there. So it's something you got to think about. Like if I come up onto something that looks pretty muddy and it looks like we're going to sink, well, then the first thing I got to do is get out of my truck, drop the tire from underneath, throw it in the back of the bed of the truck. Okay, let's hit the mud. Now, if I do bury it or I get under there, then hopefully the ramps and other things that I've taken, prepared the shovel and everything else I'm looking at gets me out of that mess. So now I can actually get a tire on. But you try to consider everything that can happen. And there was a couple weeks back where I had gone back in the land between the lakes, and I had gone into this real sketchy dirt, where you needed a 4x4, and the trail kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and the water deeper and deeper and deeper. Thank God I didn't get stuck back there. If I would have got stuck, it would have been a good 20-mile walk coming back, just to try and get help. And I never even considered that. Talk about stupid. It's just, you just get 4-wheel drive crazy, and then you just think, hey, I can do anything. But that definitely gave me a smack in the head. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to take care of every avenue I can. So whether the tire gets a screw in it, whether it gets a flat, I can air it up, I can plug it, I can fix everything. So no matter what, your tires are your shoes when you're driving a vehicle. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, a lot of people say, well, I don't have a 4x4. I drive a car. So what? Pick this up. I'm serious. Get this. This is going to save the day. You can pick up nails, screws, anywhere. No matter if you're in a big city, in a country, you get them everywhere. This is going to allow you to fix the tire yourself, give yourself a quick fix, and get you going. Guys have done these in their last 6-7 months before they got to worry about it. Now, once you do patch it up and you do get the plug in, then I would suggest you go in and have the tire looked at and get it professionally plugged. But this will definitely get you out of a bad situation. If you're at work, you come out and into the parking lot and you're sitting there with a flat, you're like, wow. Now, sure, you could change the tire and put a dummy tire on, or you could put a plug in, walk around and look at some guys with 4x4s in there in the parking lot and say, hey, you got a compressor? Maybe they'll be able to air your tire up and get you on your way. Or you can buy your own compressor and put yourself in a better position. But this thing is well made. You'll never buy anything ever again. And like I said, pick up an extra package. But you should be able to fix your own tires. To me, it's like gold to be able to do that. I'm never going to get stuck in such a stupid situation again like I did in that farmer's field. Never again. And I'm going to make sure I can fix my own tires, I can fix my own valves. I'm going to make sure I have everything I need to get myself out of a sticky situation. And the winch should be last on my list if I have to use it. Because somebody said, well, if you just got it on that drain pipe hooked right, couldn't have pulled you out. It might have. But the other problem is I don't know how good that drain pipe was because it hooked on, but it very well could have bent that drain pipe, and that could have came screaming back into my windshield. Now, ideally, what I probably should have done is I probably should have hooked it to the drain pipe, had that guy not showed up, and popped the hood on my vehicle. So that way, if it did snap and it did come flying back into my windshield, it would have been hit. It would have hit into the hood. I've been watching a lot of videos on using a winch, getting myself pulled out. Just watching a lot of videos over and over. I probably watched over 100 videos, just so I really understand what I have to do when I get stuck. And it's never going to happen again. I just can't stand depending on other people. Anyhow, there's a quick link in the bottom if you want to fix your own tires. And I'll have some links to some other stuff that I have picked up. I don't see a point to doing multiple videos and stuff that's already done. But you can check them out and decide if it's something you want. But I'm going to make sure that my truck is equipped so I can move quick. And if I go down because of a flat, I can get it back up and going, in 20 minutes, and I'm off and running in case of a situation occurring. So anyhow, like I said, I think everybody should have this. Go pick one up if you don't, and catch you guys on the next one.